Hello everyone, I'm AnimusJ and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we are in Build World and we are going to be doing the interior of this beautiful little hobbit hole that we built in the last episode of Build World. So if you didn't see how to build this, make sure you go back and check that episode out. This is a very basic and very simple hobbit hole, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a community of hobbit holes around this little area right here. And so we're going to do different styles and complexities of them, and this one is just the simple, basic, very easy to build one. So today we're going to be doing the interior of it, and obviously the first thing you're going to want to do is clear out the area. So the first thing in clearing it out is you want to go until you've reached 2 blocks past your window if you're following along block for block with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same oak support frames that we used on the outside. I'm going to use those on the inside. Now in the other direction we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 2 blocks past, and then we're going to build our support frame right there as well. Then as far as how deep our house is going to go, I want to go 9 blocks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then what I'm going to do real fast is I'm just going to clear out that entire cube of an area. You might break through to the top like I'm about to do right here. Don't worry about that because we're going to fix all of that when we finish doing all of the interior. What we'll do is we'll come along and we will fix all of the exterior on the top. And it's not going to be a problem because, you know, Minecraft landscape, well, it's ugly. I mean, just look at this thing, this little hill right here. It's ugly. It looks stupid. So don't ever limit your build to the landscape. Make the landscape fit your build. It's always easier to fix the landscape than it is to fix your build, and it'll always come out looking better if you do. And with that all cleared out, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go around with white concrete powder and also bone blocks, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my walls be all white, and I'm adding in the bone blocks in various places, and actually we can even do the circle out like that. And the purpose of this is to make it not look like the white is completely perfect and pristine. And then for the floor, what I want to do is I want to use stripped birch. And what that's going to do is it's going to give it a nice soft wooden look, but at the same time, it's not going to match up too much with our support frames. And I keep clicking on the crafting table there. I'm going to try and randomly just mix up the textures so that the floor is not all going in the same way. I don't want it to go all the same way. I want it to look kind of different. So I'm just going to kind of see if I can randomly place these and have them looking like they're all in different directions. So let's get started shaping our rooms. Our floor is looking pretty good. The walls are looking pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use spruce as our accent color. And actually, I forgot, yeah, that's going to happen. We need to also clear out the roof by 1 block up as well because we are going to build up. Although we are hobbits and hobbits are quite little peoples, or they're little whatever they are. Little hobbits, I guess, technically is what they are. We don't want our roof to be too ridiculously small. All right, so immediately next to the doors, what I'm going to do on each side is put a spruce stair, and then right above them, another spruce stair facing the opposite direction with spruce blocks behind. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry out that design up just like so, creating a pillar. I'm going to have a 2 block gap. And then I'm going to have the stripped oak log here, the spruce, just like we did on the other side. And when you finish it off, it should look just like that. And we're going to repeat this same design over here for this room. So we have the stair. We're going to do our stripped oak logs going up to the top. Your upside down stair right there, your spruce planks, and then your final stair should be facing just like so. Now, coming into this room, the first thing that I want to do is I want to put up some curtains on either side of the window, and then I'm going to put a chair right in front of the window, And we're going to use trap doors on the side of our stairs. I'm going to use dark oak on them to give it a nice contrast, like it's the armrest. We'll have another chair sitting right here in the same fashion. And then what I want to do is right here, I'm actually going to break down 2 blocks. And I'm going to put a campfire down there, and then right at the first block level of the wall, I'm going to put a furnace. And what that's going to do is every so often you'll see just a small little puff of smoke come out of the furnace. There you go, right there. And so it looks like it's on and it's keeping the room kind of warm, but it's not an excessive amount of smoke, and it's not going to build up here because it disappears very fast, as you can see. Then over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place an end rod on the floor, and then I'm going to put a quartz pillar on top of it because it looks like a nice little lamp that you could have, a nice little floor lamp. Now, the room to the left of our door, as you're coming in from the entrance, what we're going to do is we're going to have several bookshelves scattered around the Hobbit hole because, you know, they need a place to store all of their wizardry, spell-ish books, you know, enchanting, whatever kind of nonsense that they get into. They need a place for it. On this one, what I want to do is put up curtains as well, but these curtains are going to be closed, blocking that window from the outside. So you can still kind of see it, but then when you're looking in from the outside, it does look like it is a curtain drawn over the window. Put a scaffolding right there in between the two, and then I'm just going to put a pressure plate on top of it to kind of serve as a little decorative tabletop kind of a thing. Coming over to this side, we're going to put a barrel and then 2 gaps and then another barrel. And what I want to do is I'm going to take spruce trapdoors and I'm going to put them in between like that, because you can see the color of the wood is pretty consistent, not exact, but it's close. And then you have these metal bars that kind of go across both designs, both textures. And so it looks really good. It kind of blends in. And then we have functional little cabinet storage down here as well. Let's finish it off with bookshelves right there. And then we'll put a little painting in the middle of it to give people something to look at. Now for this back corner right here, what I want to do is actually give it some genuine storage. So I'm going to put some of our oak support right here. And then in the back, I'm just going to bring it forward by 1 block, close in that corner right there. And then what I want to do is do a couple of chests coming along. So 4 double chests, and then we're going to make them 2 high, just like so. And then I'm going to put our spruce stairs here. I'm going to put one of our oak pillars right here. Let's take that all the way to the ceiling. And then this one is going to be just like that. Let me go ahead and finish filling out the 3rd block on our wall really quick since I didn't get any of those. And then for this last little area right here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a bedroom, but first we're going to put a fireplace in the bedroom in order to keep warm. So I'm going to do 2 blocks of nether brick, 1 block apart, just like they are right now. And then underneath in the floor like this, I'm going to do netherrack as well. Let's put our campfire down there. And I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of the back of this out with nether brick. Yes. Let's take 2 iron bars, 1 on each side of the fire, and then an acacia trap door right over the fire in order to close it off. Next, I'm going to take a nether brick stair and I'm going to extend it out above the acacia trap door, and I'm going to break out the brick that's above the campfire to allow the smoke to go just a little bit higher. Then what I want to do is take my spruce trap doors and I'm going to put them on either side like that, and then I'm going to put bookshelves across the top, closing it in, and then 1 more right there on that side. Now then for the actual room itself, what I'm going to do is put a barrel right here. And then the beds, we're going to have 2 beds right here on these 4 blocks. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put down some stripped spruce logs at the head of it. That way, when we put down our beds, it looks like the spruce wood is actually the headboard for the bed. Now then, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to take some oak. We're going to finish out the frame that we didn't do from that room. And then grab your spruce stairs. Let's go ahead and make our archway. We're not going to do it on the bottom because we need space to walk between the chairs. And then we're going to grab one of our trap doors, place it at the top like so. And the reason we're doing that is we need something to hang our banners on. The reason we're placing banners here is to give us a little bit of privacy. That noise kind of startled me a little bit. I thought it was my phone somehow. We're giving us a little privacy screen from our bedroom. So it's almost like our bedroom is kind of closed off to this seating room right here. Then let's go ahead and give ourselves another floor lantern with an end rod and a quartz pillar on top. And then how about a nice little painting over the top of our bed? I think, no, it's different from the other one, okay? I'm gonna also put a painting right here, but it's gonna go really big. So let's stop that by adding blocks around it. Make sure it's just an individual painting like so. And then another painting is going to go right here. So let's put that there, and we can have a 2-high one right there. That's fine. And then of course what we can do is we can go around and we can put a couple of clay pots, flower pots, in random places around the house in order to give it that nice little touch of homeliness that it is currently missing, that just a lot of the places seem a little bit empty is all. And then the last thing I'm going to do as far as the interior is that I'm just going to fill in the entire roof with these oak stairs. And I am going to leave this stone here because it's almost like it was stone that couldn't be cut away when the hobbits were making their hole. And so it's kind of come into the house and become just a part of their build. And I'm completely okay with that. I like the way that it looks. And just like with the floor, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the texture direction. I'm not going to place any over top of the white concrete, and that's because in the event that I need to shape my landscape out in that side of things, I want to make sure that I have all the room that I need to in order to shape it properly. And there you have it. Now that everything is all filled in, it does look a little bit dark, so we can add a couple of lanterns in a few spots. Put one on the bookshelf right here. We can add one above the bookshelf over there. And if we wanted to, we could add them on either of either sides of the frame like that. I am going to put a painting right here above the door as well. And then we can put a lantern over the window if we want to. If you don't want to, decoration wise, because of the curtains, that's just fine, but it helps just have a little bit extra light. You do have the end rod in the corner there, so you should be okay, but just in case. Now, coming up to the top, we are going to clean up the little mess that we made, dropping all of the blocks down. If you're able to see any of your wood, like I can right here through the leaves, you can go ahead and just fix that up, replace your bushes like so. And then I'm just gonna fill this in really quick with a bunch of wool, and then I'm going to start mixing in the normal grass at the back of it so that we can start blending in the look of what we created with what we are trying to end up with. Okay, so I've kind of patched up our hill a bit. And one thing that I want to do is you can take normal grass blocks, and in places like this one, you can put a normal grass block. One from the top that's going to add to your grass texture. But two, what it's also going to do is allow you to bone meal that block so that you can have actual grass growing on the top of your house. Now, the reason we're not doing it out here is because then you have the dirt that's being visible from the front, and we don't want that. We want everything to be nice and green. So then we can come back here and we can add a grass block right here as well. And we can bone meal that one. We can add one hiding back here, and then we can cover it like so. And then what we can do is we can place some roses on top of that one. And that's going to add a bit more color to it. So you do want a lot of color, and one color that I'm not seeing any of is blue. So I'm going to take the blue orchid and a couple of the places where we have grass already. I'm going to go ahead and plant those. So one other thing that I want to do to add a bit of color is I want to plant some melon seeds up here on the roof in this spot right here. But there's no water anywhere. Now we can't just hide water in any location because it'll drip down into our house. But if we can find the location where one of the support pillars is, or for example, this rock right here, we can hide water right there because it's not going to drip down where the wall is. So this block right here is where my support beam is, which means that it's not going to be able to drip water. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that off, and then we'll replace that concrete powder that just broke right there. And that should be close enough to here in order to keep it fertilized. So plant a melon seed right there. Oops. Oh my gosh. Be careful when placing water, guys. All right, let's try this again. Let's fertilize right there. Let's plant the seeds right there. Let's bone meal. And there we go. Now we have our melon. Was it melon? Yes, melon growing up, and that'll grow in its own time, and it should look completely awesome. Although I am going to get rid of that concrete block that ended up forming. We'll put that back. I'm going to put a couple of rocks on the back side over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish blending in the rest of this landscape. And basically all I'm trying to do, I'm not going to be too meticulous because we can come and we can clean this area up later. But all I want is I don't want any extreme shapes basically. And it's actually looking pretty good already. Like I said, I don't want to get too into the landscaping entirely. We just want to make sure that the hill kind of blends over. And I am going to blend this into it a little bit more. Let's get rid of the top of this. And we'll take care of the rest of that hillside later on. But there we have it, guys. We have a fully complete but very simple and easy to build Hobbit hole. So I do hope that you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. That's it for today, guys. I'm AnimusJ, and I'll see you in the next video.